Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Looking great. Happy, sharp, gorgeous people we got for you. Rhythm and Scales Plus. Hope you're having a great time with the Pro Series curriculum at home, all of you magic oboe players. And it takes some magic to play the oboe, for sure. That is for sure. Why Rhythm and Scales Plus for you today? Because by combining practical rhythms with something as basic as your scales, we are isolating and we are working so hard on two of the most important aspects of the oboe and, of course, music in general. In this lesson, subdivision is going to be paramount. You've got to keep that eighth note track rolling, whether it's a triple pulse or a duple pulse. We're covering all 12 of the major scales. On oboe, the keys of E, B, F sharp, and A flat require crazy special fingerings that we want to get into your head as much as possible. So as we're going through the exercise, look ahead, mark special fingerings if that helps as we talk about them. Now, the accuracy of those special fingerings is super critical, both for intonation, for tone quality, and for facility across whatever scale you're performing in, right? You have to set a goal. You have to be ready and knowledgeable of what's upcoming, and then really shoot for that. Am I going to tackle this whole lesson here, or am I going to take any breaks as I roll through it? Then aim to do everything you can to achieve your goal. That's the idea. You got to stick with it and forget the rest. We're not going to waste any time. We got exercise A. Pretty sounds here, right? We want to make sure we're sounding great the whole time. We have really great pitch, by the way, on the oboe, for sure. Full breath, in tempo, with us on beat. 4 of the count off. Let's do it. Here's A. 1, 2, ready. Fantastic. Great job. Super gorgeous sounds coming out of these guys. Remember, make sure that your TV volume is up loud enough. Why? Because we want you to fit your sound into this gorgeousness and to match pitch and really get experience balancing and blending with a great ensemble. Cool? So we got exercise B moving forward. Ensure that your air column is always driving forward through the oboe. Have your ears turned on, right? Make it pretty all the time. Invite someone into the room to listen to you. Yeah. All right, we got B. And 1, 2, ready. Very lovely. Great job on the dynamic shape. So we're talking about rhythm. We're talking about scales, but we also make tons of music while we're doing that, right? We're concerned about articulation and style and also musicianship, even though we're focusing on some technical rhythm stuff and some scalar stuff. We got exercise C. Now we got something here in 12/8. You got this, no worries. Remember about that triple pulse? We got 4 sets of triplet eighth note feel, right, inside of each measure. Look ahead right now, because 2 from the end, there are some arpeggios we want you to be aware of. Check those out. Yeah, get a little roll through that real quick with the fingers. Let's aim for some music, too. Think about style. Try to match with these guys. Here we go on C. 1 and 2 and 3. Fantastic. Great job. You notice that Miss Laura over here is giving you great musical line. Tons of contrast in there, and then she lightens right up for the staccatos, and then through that first few measures there, those first 2 measures, you see her push forward with the air and give shape to the music. Even though we're focusing on rhythm and scales, it's about music too. We want you to be a better musician, right? So, we're going to tune, but before we tune, we're going to tell you everybody that we got here on set, because they're awesome. Come this way with me, won't you? all the way on the end. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right.
Say hi to the people. This is Eric Cole. You've seen it before. Yeah, he's playing the English horn part today for you. That's that gorgeous low double reed sound that we love that's totally complementing our very fine oboe ensemble that we have. Yes, undergraduate degree, Butler University, master's degree at the Eastman School of Music. Yeah, that's right, in woodwind doubling. He plays everything, you know, accordion and all that stuff too. Just kidding. He's a video game addict like me, which is very cool and fun. Love to have him around. Thanks for coming to hang, man. Right here on the third part, this is the gorgeous and lovely Jillian Schleicher, nursing student at the University of Central Florida. Third year, second year, fourth year, fifth year, sixth year? Just kidding. Fourth year, right? Yes. She is doing tons of clinical hours these days, right? Studying like crazy, and a very fantastic oboe player at the same time. Been in the University of Central Florida Orchestra as an oboist for many years, and is throwing down the third part for you today, which means that doesn't matter which part you play, it's got to be 110% all the time, and she's giving you gorgeous low pitches on the oboe. So thanks for coming to hang. We appreciate it. You got it. And on the two, right here, the man, the myth, the legend, Lane Lederer. How are you, sir?
Very well, sir.
Great, glad to have you. Nice jacket, because he rode in here on the bike. That's right, he's a motorcyclist extraordinaire, but primarily he's an oboist. We told him to get the bike off the set. He obliged. That was nice, because he wanted to just like park it right here. We were like, it just can't make it happen. Anyway, is the assistant principal oboist, of course, of the Florida Orchestra. That's Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater down there. Fantastic orchestra that he participates in, and he's a very extraordinary musician. Spends most of his time making reeds, as you might imagine, right? We call him at 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I'm making reeds. I just started. So yeah, and he says the only thing that people ask him is, how much is your oboe? How much is your oboe?
For you?
For me?
About $7,500.
$7,500. Thank you very much. Right here one time. Send him an email, proseriesnow.com. Fantastic. Glad to hear it. Superb second oboe today for you coming out of this guy. Thanks for coming to hang. We appreciate it. You got it. Here on the end, this is Laura McPherson right here playing the first part for you. That's your magic, the part that you're playing at home, right? She is making extraordinary music the whole time, talking about contrasting styles, sensitivity and dynamics and phrasing, even while she's tackling challenging rhythms, meters, and scalar junk. But she is so awesome. She is the principal oboist of the Brevard Symphony Orchestra. Not much more needs to be said than that, other than that she saves dachshunds as well, which is way cool and fun. How many baby puppies you got these days? 3. That's cool. I only have one. His name is Oscar. Shout out for my boy Oscar, the dachshund, and Simon the corgi too. They are my friends and buddies. Thanks for coming to hang, Laura. We love you. You got it. And so we're going to tune. You know how we tune. Here, we're going to give it to you twice. First time, it's us, our turn only. You're going to listen for their characteristic tone quality. You're also going to listen to that centered pitch that they give you, and then you're going to create a mental image of that pitch in your head. So you're going to go like this. Right? And then the second time, you play with us. Okay? Here we go. First time. Nice. They find the exact center of the pitch, right? Get that really gorgeous tone quality. You hear that in your head now. Here we go. Your turn. Yeah, fantastic, guys. Super cool. Are you in tune? Are you nice and in tune? Listening carefully. Are you also producing the quality of sound out of your oboe that's coming out of these oboes? That's something we want to get for you as well. Think about your core sound skills. Take them, put them right here in rhythm and scales. Plus. We got section 2 of the plus. It's exercise A, dotted quarters and eighth notes. We're starting on C major, peoples. Nice and easy. Keep a steady, uber supported, crazy air column all the time for your best quality sound, like we just said. It's a familiar rhythm. You've seen this before. Aim here. For the hard beats, they are accented. They also have tenutos. That means we want full value accents where the decay lasts the entire value of the rhythmic pulse, okay? So make sure we use air weight on this, not a tongue. Don't give me a real percussive accent. Give me that air that produces a really sophisticated accent sound. Okay, here's A. 1, 2, ready. Very nice job, guys. Super cool. I'm going to pound those accents, man, because that's great. She's so good. How'd you do with that? How'd you do on the dotted quarter, eighth note rhythm inside a C major with some articulation? Interesting stuff, right? Feel free to press the back button if you feel like the accents weren't quite coming out, or if you're getting a little too percussive on the accent and you want to use more air. You got the back button, or pause and shut me up, make me go, but, and then I'll keep going and you can keep rolling through it, right? Moving forward now, we got exercise B going ahead. We're also moving on in the circle. This is G major, so you got to pop that F sharp in there, right? Check that out. Okay, so we're cutting the rhythmic values in half from the exercise that we just did. We did dotted quarter eighths. Now we're going to do dotted eighth sixteenths. And we want you to think of the 16th note as a pickup to the eighth notes. That will prevent you from dragging it. So we want to make sure that you either have a 16th note pulse or an eighth note pulse. Chuck, 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 or chucka, chucka, chuck going on inside your head so that we do not get a little triplet groove. We want to avoid this. Dee da dee da dee da dee. Instead, get dee 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 dee. Right? Exactly right on pulse. Maintain a very even staccato style. We want that light vowel resonant ending to each one of those notes. Cool? We're thinking about style? Yes, we always think about style. We want music, man. Here it comes. 1, 2, ready. Fantastic. Great style. You hear it all across the board here. D, 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 D. Super even. No triplet feel. Really giving precise attention to the dotted eighths, sixteenths. We want that for you too. Rolling right ahead. We got exercise C. Another sharp. That's D major. Yeah, okay. Count. It's exercise A, but the rhythm is backwards, right? So now we've got the eighth note first. It's got the accent on the hard beat still with the tenuto. Don't worry, it's going to be fine. You will get it. Now, we want you to draw your attention, of course, always to your intonation. So we're thinking now about style, thinking about intonation, including our rhythm and scales plus, as always. Here's exercise C. 1, 2 on C. Very lovely. Great job. Notice what she did there to produce the accent tenuto on those short notes, in other words, the eighth notes, right? She put air weight on that front, and then she kind of ghosted a little bit on those quarter notes. That really helps the accent pop where it belongs so that all the notes don't sound the same, that we actually do get an accent out of the style, which is what we want, okay? Put that in your musical toolbox. We got exercise D now, so we're in A major. We're going to pop that G sharp in there for you. Think about that and identify any of those that are upcoming. Same deal here, 16th notes plus dotted eighths. We're going to reverse that one that we did before. I believe that was exercise B, right? How consistent will your staccato be throughout the 2 octaves? So we're changing registers kind of in the oboe here. We want to make sure the quality of the staccato stays consistent and the same. Yeah. You got this. No bigs. Here's D. 1, 2, ready. Very lovely, great sound the whole time, and fantastic style, even though we reversed it to 16th note, dotted eighth. How'd you do with that? Still don't get that triplet feel right. We don't want do-da, dee-da, dee-da, dee-da. Don't get that country western feel in there quite yet. That has its place, but not here. 16th note, dotted eighth, right? How'd you do on the staccato as well? Nice and light. Keep that vowel resonant ending. Hopefully that was great. Press back if you need to. We're rolling on now to a new section, section 3. This is exercise A, focusing on triplets in simple meters. And this one's an E major. We're keeping going on through that circle. Getting fun. Pop that D sharp in here for E major. You love them. We got triplets here. See those? Remember that in this key, in the key of E, you have to use your left D sharp fingering right when you're coming from or going to a C sharp. So we want you to check that out now. Maybe put a little arrow or eyeballs or whatever you use to draw your attention to something inside of music. Another thing, check out measures 5 and 6. You got to go from a high D sharp to an E. Now, how to do that? Well, you're going to take your left hand off the B key, right? And in your right hand, you're going to pop down the A flat key and the E flat key. That's really going to facilitate that transition. Cool? You ready for it? Here we go. But first, Laura is going to demo that for you so you can kind of check it out. Right on? Cool, great job. Now she's going to come down on the same notes. Now you're going to pick up A flat and E flat, return to the B key, right? Here we go. Cool, right? So that's that transition between those notes going up, going down. Now we might as well show you that C sharp to D that we talked about before, right? We're going to do that right now, okay? Pay attention. Great job. And now we're going to go up on the same notes. Check out her hands, check out her hands. Got it? Those are those transitions for you. Little help in the E major key. We like that. Okay, here we go. All right, guys, here we go. P.S. I got marked here. Little G sharp in me. I know we're telling you a lot of stuff, right? But measure 8, G sharp. Got to play that on the right. Ooh, scary. Major thing. Let's do it. 1, 2, ready. Fantastic. Great job on the style, too, and their triplets are so nice and even. Everybody matching style. It's really cool how the second part is loud through that gorgeous melody that they have there. Now, are you ready? Because it's exercise B, and for B, we gave you B major. Yeah, A sharp's crazy. We got 5 sharps now, so check it out and be aware of those fingerings. We got some fingering information for you in a little bit, but this is the plus. You got to push forward. Remember, if you ever have any troubles with this, man, go over to total scales, doink, beep, right, and roll through some of that B major stuff. It will make you a ninja at scales for sure. We're picking it up here with the rhythm a little bit. We want you to think of 3/8 notes per beat. So check that out. That's right, 3 of those 1/8 notes inside that triplet bracket, but 2 of those 1/8 notes are squashed together into the quarter note that you see, okay? This one, again, is in a round. Second part has a beautiful melody that's coming out. So not only are we working on our rhythms and our scales, but we're listening to the total ensemble, making sure that the melodic material comes through. That's a very sensitive, sophisticated skill that we want in your toolbox. How are you ready for this? B to low C sharp, scary. If you are lucky enough to have a horn that will allow you to play low B with your C sharp key down, ding, we love that. That's great, super easy, it's going to be cool. If you don't have the oboe that does this, we got a little information for you. You have to do it differently. Ultimately, for this, there's no way to avoid that pinky violation that we don't like very much. In this case, you just got to do it. When you're playing low B, you got to alter your finger position on the low C key so that when you move from low B to C sharp, a sort of sneaky D doesn't pop out. You know what I'm talking about? It kind of sneaks in there. Want to make sure that that does not happen. So make sure that when you're fingering low B, you're touching the C key like right around that first joint on the pinky. You got to creatively adjust the position of that joint, right? Then you got to move to the C sharp from there by bending the joint and laying it down on that C sharp key so that it doesn't lift up at all. It's a very unique, crazy oboe cool thing that we like, but we also like oboes that have all the mechanisms, which are cool. So dude, look at those if you want to get one of those. Yeah? Okay, we're going to get a little demo of that so you can see what it's like if you don't got the mech. Here we go. Super cool. And that's what we got for you there. You know, invest in an oboe if you can that really has mechanisms that make your life easier as an oboe player. But if you can't do that right now, pay attention to that finger. It's going to help you out a lot. Also, one thing in the key of B, You want to mark this down, by the way. You got to use your left D sharp fingering when you are coming from or going to a C sharp. Okay, so I want to write an L over every place that I do that. That's what I'm doing if I'm playing the oboe. I write an L so I make sure I'm on that side of the horn. Okay, mark this fingering reminder if you have a pencil, which you should always have a pencil, right? Here's B. 1, 2, ready. Very lovely, super cool. Great job on the tenor too. I know, it's just amazing. Magical. And so, exercise C, we're going easier on you now. We got F sharp major. What? You can do this. That's right. Pop in that craziness. Woo! How are you doing? This is hard stuff. Triplet quarter notes here. Now, make sure that you don't give this that dotted eighth, eighth feel. We don't want that Caribbean right? We want even triplets, which is fun. Don't make fun of my dancing skills. Here's C. 1, 2, ready. Very lovely. I'm going to pound these guys here because in that style, well, I found you too. I guess she did okay. But what I'm talking about is the that you can't see. But they were helping them lay down that groove so that Laura could really even out those triplets. That's why we stuck those accent pulses for you there, and they did such a great job with that. How'd you do with those even triplets, right? D, 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 right? We want to make sure that they all get the even amount of space. So we got exercise D now. We're in D flat major, only 5 flats, but we like flat keys better than sharp keys, don't we? We like flat keys generally better than sharp keys? No? We hate them all. Anyway, we have triplet eighth notes here plus triplet quarters, so check those out. We're going to mathematically subdivide as always. Rome wasn't built in a day, neither is a magical oboe player, right? You got the back button, and you also have a unique resource called ProSeriesNow.com, where you can go to see cool people like me who will email you back or make comments on your video. People with solutions to your problems, answers for your questions. Here comes D. All right, guys, this is a shorty. We're taking it easy on it. Here we go. 1, 2, ready. Magnificent. They sound so great and wonderful all the time. D flat major, and you got D flats, low D flats. Those are hard, man, especially to keep in tune. If you're finding the center of that pitch, congratulations. But they tend to be real flatty McFlat flat, okay? So you got to make sure that you're listening carefully to these guys because they're rolling out great pitch for you. So moving on to section 4, exercise A. We got hemiola. Drink your cola. Actually, never do that. It tears up your stomach, tears up your horn, melts your horn keys. We don't want anything, okay? Anyway, hemiola, not a pizza topping. It is 2 pulses here in the space of 3 pulses. So we're looking at a 3/4 measure that feels like a 6/8. That's a hemiola figure there, where we've got the dotted quarter and the dotted quarter. Check that out. You got to think mathematically, subdivide carefully. Mark the very necessary E flat and F fingerings here. You got to know what to do for those. Keep your energy throughout the entire exercise. So we're trying to push the air forward to create phrases, even though we're thinking about rhythm, scales for weird fingerings. We're still making music the whole time. And you have that same thing that we talked about with that low D flat key, right? Okay, C sharp, D flat key, same deal that we talked about before with the pinky thing if you can't manage or you don't have that horn that has the extra mechanic on it. Okay, here we go on A. A. 1, 2, go. Yeah, super good, guys. Very nice. Great job on those little syncopated hemiola parts with the dotted quarter notes. How'd you do with those? Mathematically subdividing. Very intense, important skill. Yes, indeed. Exercise B we got now. We got a little air and posture check for you. That means we want to make sure that you're sitting up nice and tall with really great horn carriage. That means that the oboe, can we show this to them, guys? Hold your oboes in your best fashion. We want you to check out where the balance points are at your oboe. Are you straining your thumbs or carrying it wrong or giving yourself strange, facility problems as a result of your carriage? We want to make sure you're getting really great position like these guys. Check out their fingers as well. Now, another thing is, you notice their shoulders. They're all very relaxed. Nobody's tense while they're playing at all. They're all sitting up nice and tall so as not to cramp off that air column. We just want to draw your attention to that because you can't play with great sound and articulation without really supportive air. Thanks, guys. Looks great. Now we're into 3 flats. E flat major. You got this. Make triplet half notes even here. They are scary. Let me tell you what, you got a full measure. You got to put 3 half notes across one measure. You have to really subdivide. Have the air moving forward. Again, we have that open throat, right, to be your most musical. In measure 7 and 8, check that out. We want you to use your long E flat fingering on the high E flats. Can we see that? Can you just show them the fingering there, Miss Laura? Check that out. Long fingering. Yeah, man. Make it great, and soon you'll be able to come and shoot the cover of Hemiola magazine. Here we go. 1, 2, ready. Oh, so nice. Little improv, little ad-lib improv for you. All right, we're moving forward. We got exercise C now. What do we got here? You see B flat major, easy old band keys we're back to. You got this one. 6, 8, right? The second, third, fourth player are going to hold down the beat for you. You got to think constant triplet pattern eighth notes underneath in that subdivided pattern. Chuck, 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 right? Here we are. Here comes C, makes magic. 1, 2, C. Very fine job. You know what that exercise is for you? It's the B flat major scale. I mean, right? It's the B flat major scale, but you heard her make music out of the B flat major scale. And you heard these fine people over here really helping out with that groove down there, using punctuated accents to accentuate the pulse. Super great skill coming out of this group. You should listen to all of that and use it as your model. Here comes exercise D of 4. We want you to feel the rhythm here. This one is also a common one, right? Check it out. Okay, we're at 3, 4, but we almost have a 6, 8 feel in the odd measures. So watch out for that. 3, 4, of course, we feel that in the even measures. Here we go. It's D. Count carefully. Keep it going. 1, 2. Very lovely. Great job on the pulse, too. Shifting feel between the 6, 8 kind of feel and the 3, 4 actual meter, right? Very important skill to be able to shift that metrical feel. Put that in your toolbox. Take it to the bank. We got a bonus round for you. We're coming down the last little bit of stretch here. It's the only exercise. And we're back to C. Back to C future. Ha ha! Great Scott. Yeah, 1.21 gigawatts. Stick with it, okay? You got to count carefully here. Put all of your rhythmic fundamentals together. Check out the accidentals ahead of time. All right, we got some ties in here for you. This is about tie studies. We're thinking about counting through the tie, right? So be prepared for the accidentals and the ties. Enjoy this. It's a lot of fun. We like it. We have some fun. Get my dancing skills. Here we go. 1, 2, ready? Fantastic job, man. Super great style. These guys are wonderful. Rhythm and Scales Plus, that's the end for you. You've gotten now to work with all of your major scales because it's the Plus. We love it. You got to know these backwards and forwards. Head over to Total Scales. By the way, you still need some scale work because it will make you a ninja on the scales for sure. That was it. Rhythm and Scales Plus. Thanks for coming to hang. We'll see you real soon. Do the right arm. Pound it now. Bye. Come on, come on, come on.